welcome to another week of By Pollevie story. I haven't had much, or I didn't take as much knitting time as I would have liked. I did work on my green shirt, but not as much as I thought I would this week, because I'm doing something else, which I'll show you later on. And I wanted to show you this lovely mushroom cup, which I saw at a shop here in Holland. And they only had the yellow one. So I put it on Instagram if somebody else could go to that shop in their place where they live and see if they've had a red one. Then somebody said to me, they're still online available. So I ordered mine online and now it's here. You can take the top off and then it keeps your tea nice and warm. And I thought it was perfect for autumn. So I'm really happy with my mushroom cup. It's been a very busy week. And I'm going to tell you all about it. I hope you had a nice week. And yesterday, to start off with the biggest thing, yesterday we visited a friend, Tineke, who we visited at the beginning of the summer as well. She lives in Eindhoven, which is like nearly a 2.5 hour drive. So we don't see each other often, but if we go, we try to combine it with another thing in the area. And she is a volunteer at the prehistoric village in Eindhoven, which is very worth a visit. And yesterday they had medieval market over there. So we thought, let's go. So there was medieval market at the prehistoric village, and this means you can buy all things that would have been available in prehistoric times, in medieval times. I don't know how they know what was for sale, but yeah, it's nice that a lot of these merchants still practice these old traditions. So we saw a wicker basket maker, which I would love to learn. I really want to do a workshop wicker weaving. I would love one of those backpacks made of wicker. What else did we see? We saw the smith making knives and swords, of course, but last time I bought two knives, so I didn't need one this time, but we had a look at his work, which was really nice again. There was somebody doing medieval embroidery with one of those needles made of bone. Somebody was making broth above a fire with carrots and cabbage. People making pins for clothes and glass beads. And there was, of course, a priest on the square in the medieval village. And there you could buy things to be in the vague fire, the place where you come before you go to heaven, where it gets decided if you can go to hell or heaven, to be there less, or to be there a shorter amount of time. And one piece of paper was for a year and one was for a month, and they all varied in price, of course. It was a very lucrative business back then. And you needed to carry those papers with you all the time, because if you happened to die while you were traveling and you didn't have your papers, then you would spend the whole time in those fake fire. So I knew some of these stories, but not all. And he had such a display of different things. He also had edible paper with pictures of Jesus on it, and then you could eat it. Back then it was real paper, but now it's on edible paper. And then, yeah, well, you're the closer to Jesus you can't get. So the more you ate, the better it was for you. Of course, people got ill. And he had splinters of the cross of Jesus for sale, and splinters of the chest where Jesus was buried in for sale as well. There were a lot of them back then. And he did a good job on telling us how it went back then. So that was nice to see. And there was a herb lady walking around with a wicker backpack filled with herbs. And she came to ask if I had an ache of some sort somewhere, or a pain. I do not. I very seldom have that. But my mum had a troublesome knee. So she had, of course, the hip operation, and now her knee is troubling her. So she told the story to the lady with the herbs. And she said, oh yes, I think I do have something. And she opened a wicker pack which she was carrying on her belt and got a piece of willow from it. And she gave it to my mum. And there's a saying in Dutch, you will have to chew on a piece of wood. So she said to my mom, you will have to chew on a piece of wood. And whilst doing that, the saps of the bark are released and it works a little bit like an aspirin. So the pain should have been away very fast, she said. So yeah, those people walk around the museum all day and make it come alive this way. So it was a very enjoyable day. There was lots for sale, clothes, pieces they make of wood, arrows, pottery, anything. I of course also bought something. Let's start. I found a feather. I can never let them later. I always take feathers with me if I find them. Then this one is a little pouch, and in it is things to help you make fire, like a firestone and a piece of iron to make it to hit it against so it makes sparks, and what we call tondel, which can help you light a fire. And I liked the brown leather pouch. So inside here is birch bark and a little bit of cotton which has been coiled, or linen. So that's in there, and then we have a piece of firestone here, a very sharp piece of firestone, and a piece of iron. So if you hit these two together, slay them, and this would be near, and one of those sparks coming off hits this and it can catch fire, then you have yourself a fire. How they did it the old ways. Now of course we have matches, but so I like that it was in a set together. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in here because I want to use the pouch for something else. But I liked that they sold it and I like to help those people who make this. I'm not sure if the glass bead is really medieval. I do know they made them, but this would have been a very expensive purse, I think. So that one. Then this, I only know the Dutch name. It's a paternoster boontje. And they made, these used to stand near chapels and churches. And they make prayer beads from them. And this is bone. And I liked this one in the middle. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I just like the shape, the color, the size. I liked everything about it. So I might find a way to wear it or display it somewhere. So that one. Then there were two ladies who used to do naaldbinden, needle binding, might be the English word. It's a traditional way in medieval times where they made things. It's a bit like crochet and knitting, but it's called needle binding. And she had this knitted little pouch, which is of course used to carry your religious figure in around. But I have something else in it. I like the color and again the size. It's such a cutie. And the checkered shapes. I bought some dice from a man who makes things from bone. So this is a traditional one we all know. And he told me that in medieval times the 6 wasn't opposite the 1. The 6 used to be opposite the 5. On all the dice they found, the 6 was opposite the 5. I don't know why and when it changed from the 6 opposite to the 1. But these days you can only find those dice with 6 opposite. So I bought one that we know. These ones I really liked, like beans. And these have the numbers 2, 3, 4 and 5. And they are missing 1 and 6. So maybe for this game you only need it to count to 5. I don't know. I like them. So I've got 2 of them. And this one I like the mysterious shape. It's a square, a little bit leaning over. So it's different shape, but it has all the numbers. And you can roll it. That was a 6, a 2, 5. So it doesn't always end up on the same angle. What happens to those? 4, 3, 3. Yeah, so they work. And I'm not leaving them in this little pouch because that is already a little too small, I think. And I'm not sure if they actually stay in there, but for the time being, they're in there. I really like it. And then Tineke friend we were going to visit, she sits there and she knows so much about this time, the medieval time, and about yarn. So she does the needle binding and she can weave on all sorts of mysterious wooden planks with pins standing up. She's got loads of them at home. She can spin on a huge spinning wheel, which you will also see in the picture. And she can knit and crochet, of course. And she can do this. I don't know the English name, but it's made on a little wooden plank with 4 pins on this side and 1 here. And then you weave your, it's a bit like band weaving, but not the same. You weave in your color. You can choose 4 colors or 8 or 6. And then it makes this nice pattern with V's. And you can also, by changing how you weave it, the V's can go up or down or a very intricate pattern. And now this is how they made belts or tied their hair together or bracelets, the first types of jewelry. So yeah, that was nice of her to show me how it's done. And very easy. I'm amazed that the people back then found so much to do, and yeah, it's very pretty to do with yarn as well. So that was quite fun. I'll have a look for the name and put it below if I found it. It's on her website somewhere, Het Groene Schaap. Then last week I showed you my green shirt and I said if it's a little bit preceded, then I might be able to fit it if I add another cable to it. A friend, Bean, over here, who always has the best knitting tips, said to me, Ellen, don't you know about these cables? And I said, I do, but I don't have them. And she said, well, I have some to spare. So she asked, so she sent some over again. And this came through the mail. Of course, I like the pink one the best, the neon pink one. They are a bit like Scooby-Doo cables. So what you do is your needle work is, of course, on a round knitted needle. So you have the needle on one end, then the cable, and then you slide this on the needle on the other end. And your work should be able to slide over it so that it takes more space. And then you can actually fit it. So I don't know the name of these. Needle cables maybe. Cable needles, cable extensions. But these are very nice. And I have now plenty of them. So I'm going to put one in every bag, every project bag I take along. So that if I need to fit something, I can. I haven't tried them yet. As I said, I haven't been knitting so much. But thank you, Bean, for this. Always very helpful and nice. I really like those. I keep finding beads over here. Sorry. Ended up with a cough. We've had such strange weather. Yesterday it started with rain and 17 degrees. Then during our visit in the museum it was about 30 degrees. And back in the evening it was raining and back to 17 degrees again. So I have to do something about my health. There's a lady I follow a while on Instagram. She's called Romy from Atelier Doomy. And she paints really nice jewelry boxes and these cones where you could store your rings on, if you have any. I do. And I put them in a cup or on my bedside table or on another table which is in here if I happen to go upstairs and do them off there. But they're always everywhere. So now I have this cone where they can sit nicely on and I can't lose them again. And she had a story sale with them, but this size was sold out already. So I asked her, will they come on your story sale again? And she said, well, I have one, so I can make it for you. And she did. So I have an eye, a dove, rose, and stars and sun. And I love the details on it. So thank you, Romy. It's really nice. I'll pop her Instagram down here if you want to have a look as well. If you are in need of a cone. And now I can actually use it because it was sitting here waiting for the YouTube video. So that's over here. I like hand worked pieces, of course. Then another project are the lampshades. I took some from Sweden because of the nice shape. And I've been trying to find a way to crochet around them and keep the shape, which is very doable when they have straight sides, but it's nearly undoable when they have those nice curved sides, because at some point the iron sticks out, or the color doesn't, the yarn doesn't follow the shape as I would like it to. So I've took it all off. This one is the only one who is straight, which I can do. So in this case I just wrapped the yarn around, and now at the top I'm going to weave it to make it close together, and since it's slightly going inwards here. And then they are for the festival Vier, which I'm going to hang them in the trees with one of those pull stringy lights in, and they will give, I think, a lovely light. So I need to find a way for the other lampshades. I might just leave them the way they are and hang them in the trees like this, because the shape is so nice. Maybe I will find somebody who could put fabric around them in colors I like leopard or bright green with pink fringe, something fun. But we're not there yet. I just wanted to show you the lampshades are also a process here. And after last week, I got a lot of questions about the Oya hack necklaces. So I thought I might do a talk about that. So after this video, there should be a video on Pinterest where you can see how I search for patterns, because all the patterns are there. The flowers, how you make the necklace. Now, what do you need? You need yarn, which comes on, well, the yarn I buy comes on things like this, and they vary in thickness. So this is quite a thick one, and sometimes they're very thin, so keep an eye out for that. And it's polyester yarn, which burns in the candle to make the ends go slip together, melt. Sometimes they come on smaller cloches like this. This also is thinner, so beware that you order the same thickness if you want to try this. And look for Oya crochet yarn, polyester, and you should be able to find them. And because these are quite, if you want to take all those colors with you, which is a nuisance, I roll them off. These are wooden playing pins of a peg bowling game, old-fashioned, and I just wrapped 2 colors around them, and this is easier to take along. And since I'm going on school camp this week, I might take some along which I've already strung, because that's how it starts. I'll show you. You need a hook, a 0.75 millimeter hook, which is very, very small, as you can see here. It's nearly a needle. And beads. I buy these. They're Miyuki beads, round ones, because there are also flat ones and straight cut ones, but the round ones I like better for this. So Miyuki beads you need. And then you're going to string them on your string with a needle like this. Don't know if you can see that. It's a piece of wire, and it's closed up here, and you slide this through the opening. A bead yarner, I think it's a bead needle, that should be it. And now the yarn is attached, and then you can put your beads on here and they will slide right over, down the needle and onto the yarn. There it goes, down there now. I don't want blue here though, so I'm going to take it off. So that is how I get the beads onto that small yarn. So with only the yarn, you're not there yet. So then, once you've strung all your beads, they should be in a certain order, which I'll show you. As you can see here, you see 3 green, then a couple of pink, then a couple of purple, again 3 green, and you can see different colors of green. Well, I found that since you need to string all those beads on first and then crochet, I found that with my first necklace I had added 2 little flowers, because the center of the flower is made up of 5 beads. there's the other one. So I only had 2. I had no idea that with the beads I had strung, this necklace would already be so big, and there's a certain length I wanted. So then I thought, right, I must put in more of the center of the flowers. So I made another one, and that one ended up nicer. Also the leaves, how many leaves do you want? So I keep this one as a reference. I put it down and then start at the beginning. This one you can also find on Pinterest. I'll show it to you in a film after this. This little, bobbin. So that's my starting point, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 times I have those cluster of 3 beads, and then comes a flower center, which I haven't added a flower because I wanted to show you this. And I do that in a different color. So this one is pink. I recommend you, if you want the leaves to be green, then take the flower center a different color, so that when you are crocheting and you come to those beads, you think, oh, that should have been a flower. So then you make a flower center. The next one is a leaf, which I use 6 or 8 beads for. This is it. And I use different green beads for the leaf than for those clusters of 3. So that if I come to those beads, I know, that one should be a leaf. Otherwise you just crochet and then you end up with all clusters of 3 but no leaves. So that really helped me. And now there are more flowers and leaves in between. So this one I always keep as a reference when I string the beads on, so that I know that I've got enough flowers and enough leaves in between. Maybe that helps you too. So I've made a lot, and this one is just finished. It's an ochre color with only pink beads and pink flowers, which I like next to the green. But I think I like the green better. Also, I like 2 better than just 1. See, it becomes more interesting to look at. That's my personal opinion. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but I like to wear them with a couple. So I'm going to make another one of these. Maybe a brownish, more brownish color. A brown necklace, and then, I don't know, orange flowers with yellow, maybe? So yeah, I'm keeping myself busy. Tomorrow I'm starting the new school year at Winford, where I've been this week for a meeting, and it was nice to see Churi again. I think it's a bit of a strange relationship because we see each other so very often. We see each other every week, at least one day, and then the full day, and we work closely together. And then in summer holiday, we don't see each other for 6 weeks and don't speak to each other. So that's a bit strange. But when we see each other again at school, it's always nice. So we had to chat about his holiday. He asked his girlfriend to marry him, which was really nice. So he's in the full-on marriage preparations. And then, of course, the school year. We are going on camp next week as well. And I'll take you along. And on Wednesday, I'm at a day in Amsterdam for the other school I work at, which is the Steiner School or the Waldorf School. And we have a day full on with all the Waldorf schools from Holland. And it's an inspiration day where we start off the new school year. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll hope and try and get some footage for you, because I know you guys like that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it again. And you had a really nice week and summer holiday. And I hope to see you all next week again. And I'll be full of energy, I hope, after a full day work and camp, and maybe I have something inspiring to tell you. Bye for now. Enjoy the sun. It's out here in Holland, so I might go and crochet outside. First, another sip of tea. Bye. So just hopping onto Pinterest to show you where I find the Oya crochet patterns. Sorry, it's flipped over because it's a video from my telephone. So you go to Pinterest, type in Oya, and that's the Dutch word for necklace. And if you type in Oya necklace or Oya crochet patterns or Oya crochet, they come up with all kinds of patterns, and just showing you here where you can find them. I've also pinned made a I'm going to make sourdough cardamom buns. So I'm collecting all the stuff I need to make them. And firstly starting off with the sourdough starter. But I pour in the water first, then the salt, or then the starter, then the salt, and then 1 kilo of flour, because I'm going to make a lot of them. I crave them. I miss them from Sweden. And I like to use And here we are at the prehistoric village in Eindhoven at the medieval market, and I'll show you around.
Hier, zie je het? Ik heb gewoon middeleeuwse kousen nu aan. Dat zijn, om even kijken aan de kruid. Een slot gemaakt. Naar de keukenkast. Ja, maar dan heb ik echt een hele goede geneesdag. Ik ben mijn dochtertje maar toen heeft ze voor het eerst in een badtuin worden gebruikt. Maar ze kreeg het uit op de wang. En ze hadden het opgesteld. En toen ben ik dus dat gaan gebruiken. Dus dat gebruik ik. Ik heb even een crochet, ja. Crochet, spaars. Dus ja, ook diverse kleurtjes paars, allemaal hartstikke leuk. Ja. En een beetje roze dan. Ja, precies. Een beetje verschil. Een beetje blauwer, ja. Leuk gevonden aan de muur. Ja, die heeft er werk van gemaakt, van de keuken. En die engeltjes. Mooi getekend zeg. Ja. Inderdaad, zo'n haas, dat was wel leuk in... Ik moet nou wel best wel weer.
Korting op het vaartuur en hiermee 7 jaar. Dus Dus dat schiet er lekker op. Ja, en het leuke voor mij is, niemand weet hoe lang die in het vagevuur zit. Top verdienmodellen.
Ja, misschien is het maar 1 dag, ook iedereen in 7 jaar.
Ja.
Dat is wel handig.
Ja. Ja. De zweedoek van Veronica. En daar is het een afbeelding van. Ja.
Nou, want het is juist met de leekwaarde van Turijn dat daar dan weer het gezicht op staat.
Ja,
Dan is het...
ja, maar dat is bij die, dat zou met die zweedoek van
Peper maken, diamantjes. Allerlei verschillende dingen. Ja, maar dit is ook heel mooi. Ja, dus, je hebt een bol draad. Heb je dat zelf gesponnen? Nou, deze niet, want normaal spin ik wel altijd mijn bol zelf. Dat is eigenlijk mijn main core ding. Ja. Met tolletjes. Het is leuker voor jou om te doen, tolletjes.
Dat u zeg maar de schil een beetje stuk maakt. De schil moet u eigenlijk eten of de sappen daarvan
Dus bijtend, zuigend.
Ja, zoiets. Ja. Het kan vrij bitter smaken, maar het helpt tegen koortsen en pijn.
Oké.
Ja.
Nou,
Dus ook
zo gaan we nu denken vandaag.
Dat is goed, dat is goed. Ja. Veel succes.
Bijer, een klein pretje.
Een bijen, een klein
Ja,
pretje.
hoe noemt een bijer, een man uit Zuid-Duitsland, hoe noemt hij een klein pretje?
Ja, Veldhoven kom je daar met soms nogal goed geluk, wil je zeggen. Ja, niet per se, maar het is...
Jammer. Ook wel. Buitenom, dus de onderste draad gaat buitenom. Ja, dus dat is donkerblauw. Ja, maar dat was net ook. Alleen nu komen die veetjes de andere kant op. Zie je wat ik bedoel? Hier stonden ze zo. Ja. En nou gaan ze zo, als ik buitenom ga. Ja. Dus ik doe er nog één. Je mag hem vanavond wel proberen.
Ja, ze weer zo'n plank
Ik ga weer terug naar mijn kant.
En inderdaad, voor zie je inderdaad de sokjes die eigenlijk al inderdaad een halfjaartje gedragen zijn, de roze. Dus ze verveelt op een gegeven moment.
Ja, dit is al zacht.
We moeten het hoekje pakken, dat is de Blueface Lester.
Juffrouw, dat is al de laatste jaren.
Ja. Roesmee roleert ook wel eens naar de top hoor. Nog. En Doortje nog wel eens. Ik ging heel even bij onze directe buren de vachten aaien, want ik had ik gewoon nodig. Maar ik moet eerst...
Ja, we kunnen ons dat niet voorstellen dat het zo overal in zit.
Ja, ze loopt wel even voor leven natuurlijk. Ja.
Weet je er iets van astrologie zelf? Ben je er wel eens mee bezig geweest? Gaat het over? Ja.
Op lang haar, ja.
Maar die zien er wel heel erg echt uit.
Robbers gegeten, ijsje gegeten.
Ja, dat is ja, man.
De rest ook. Dan komt die mandje steeds voor.